Kitty the Cockatoo. So today we are going to try out the Lost Legend of Redwall Scout. I'm a massive fan of the books of Redwall. Haven't read them all as a child and reading them all again now. I did get this game during its pre-release alpha stage. Didn't really play it a lot because I had a lot of problems then, and really you could just walk around the map. So this is a totally blind playthrough. I know it's got continue there, but that was because I was doing some tests to make sure that the audio was okay. So this is completely blind playthrough. We're gonna have a go and see what it's like. I will make sure that there is no talking during cutscenes or dialogue, so that people could enjoy the story if they so wish. You might enjoy some random Redwall trivia if I can remember any. But other than that, let's just jump right into it. Yes! Hopefully it doesn't have really long loading screens. Oh, that's tricking me into thinking. Oh, there we go.
Midsummer is only 2 days hence. I don't see how you can possibly be ready, Brother Jethro.
Fear not, old friend. Formal assures me that the stage will be ready this evening, and I've never known him to be wrong. Everything will be quite all right.
Cutting things close doesn't suit me. You know that. I'm a planner. I'm a philosopher. This whole business has my humors out of balance.
There, Brother Wilport. You just let me fret about the play, and you make sure the feast is perfect. I'm especially looking forward to that hot root sun salad.
Oh, yes, quite right. There's much to be prepared. Friar Randall was concerned that the cheese and onion hogsbake was too heavy to follow the brazier leaks. He may be correct.
You see, there's far more need for your talents in the kitchen than out here. Let your old friend do what he's good at, making a fool of himself. Oh, my.
Very well, I'll take my leave. But please try to keep on schedule. You know how I worry.
Indeed I do. Sister Edelweiss, I trust William won't perish before he has a chance to taste the good friar's blackberry crumble.
Oi, now. It's hard to say. 'Tis surely a bit of blackwater fever. Now I can't remedy with some nettles and wort, but that foul temper, now, that just might be fatal.
I'm not grumpy.
No? Boy, Yoki, then why in the sharp tongue when I asked for that filthy old wine glass? The rusty old thing is reeking with mould and mire. It's likely the cause of your fever for all the fuss it's bearing.
Sorry, Grandfather. I found it in the library.
You're Nao. You drinkers as tonic, and you'll be out storming that forest with all them's dibbins afore a moon's turned her face this way. Purroy.
We're ready for Hilltop Camp, Brother Jethro. Shall we wait for you?
No need to wait, lads. Carry on, and I'll be there shortly. Thank you for your legendary healing skills, sister. As always, we are in your debt.
We? I say it's just you who be's owing moi.
Oh, I hadn't seen this in ages, and such perfect timing, dear boy. Do you know who this weight glass belonged to, William?
Honest truth, I just thought it was another trinket you'd packed away for no good reason.
Trinket? Badgerwaffles. This was one of the trusty tools carried by the Lilygrove Scout Corps back when Clooney the Scourge, that wretched pirate, laid siege to Redwall Abbey. And it so happens that this very thing has a role to play in the story we'll be telling for the Abbot's celebration. I've written a play to share one of my lost legends with all of Redwall. Of course, everyone knows about Matthias and Constance and Basil Staghair, but few know about the trio of brave woodlanders from Lilygrove who played a crucial role in those events. Have you ever heard of Liam or Sophia Rivermouse?
No, but, I don't suppose you could be telling me the story, since I'm bedridden and ailing, and might not live to see the play. Please?
Let's see. Where to begin?
Well, so the voice acting in this game seems pretty hit and miss. Like, the two old mice were alright. The child, however, sounds a bit odd. It definitely doesn't sound like it was all recorded in the same place, but it is an indie game, so well, give it a chance. I like the Redwall vibes, though. Definitely the music and the visuals. So let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Yes. Initiation. 'Twas a frozen evening in midwinter. The sky was clear, but for a loosely bound fleet of high and easterly clouds that wore the light of the full moon like a coyish lass wears a daffodil. A light snow had gathered in the hollows and shadows of the weathered oaks and hawthorns, but the ground carried little more than the dusting that fell from that gentle January. A chilly breeze stirred the heavy locks of the willow's winter maidens, and two mice warmed their paws against the night. Liam and Sophia were young, ambitious, and betrothed. By this fateful evening, they were but 3 days from being wed. Both had trained hard to join the ranks of the Lilygrove Scout Corps, a rather storied group of woodland rangers who kept safe the lands betwixt Mossflower Country and the mountain warrens.
What were they doing out in the snow? It's the middle of the night.
It was initiation night. After a great deal of training and preparation, each candidate had to prove that they were ready to bear the tools of a Lilygrove scout, like this wiglass. Scouts needed to survive in the wilderness without aid or comfort. They learned to travel difficult territory and assist others in times of need. It was a tough job, and not to be taken lightly. The one had graduated just a week prior, and now it was time for the other to prove their mettle. Once initiated, they planned to wed, but that was not to be. Not yet, anyway.
Initiation. It's finally happening. We've planned so long for this, and now that it's here, I'm not sure I'm ready.
I feel the same way. It feels as though we've had such certainty getting here, but I haven't the faintest notion of what comes next. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Frightening.
I like the little models here, but I don't feel like the drawings quite match the models here. I definitely prefer his voice actor to his at the moment.
Papa went to Lilygrove last autumn, didn't he?
That's right. Their lighthouse was in need of repair. Your father's a fine metalsmith he is. It's an ancient settlement, older than Cockatoo, and about a 4-day trek west by southwest from Redwall Abbey. It was quite a bit smaller in those days, though, and more isolated. When Cheese Thief attacked, they were almost entirely on their own. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Have you thought about where we might live once, you know? I'm quite fond of Miller's Hill myself. Lots of open space on the south side. Oh, and that charming brook.
Cockatoo used to be here, wasn't it? Before Redwall Abbey was built. The Green Eyes and the Thousand Eye Army lived there. I mean, here.
Well done, William. That's correct. Cockatoo Castle was built many, many seasons ago, and has its own legendary past. But it finally fell in the days that wicked wildcat Zarmenia Green Eyes, when our very own patron Martin the Warrior stood up to her tyranny. and sealed her fate. When the rotting hulk of Cockatoo crumbled and sank, the victorious woodlanders founded Redwall Abbey atop its sunken ruins.
A pair of wagons arrived today from Redwall. Did you see what they carried? Oh, such wonderful things always come from Redwall. Always some new joy or fantastic flavour. I hope someday to see those sandstone walls blazing in the setting sun.
I like the fact that they've included some lore from the past books.
I wonder what's
Interesting.
taking so long. I'm freezing.
Come here. Let me warm your paws.
Sophia hailed from a family of Lilygrove natives, going back dozens of generations, but still quite meek. Sophia's father died when she was just a girl, so she, her mother, and 2 sisters worked the family rye fields and brew house to stay alive. But Sophia was never satisfied with the life of a farmer, so no one twitched a whisker when she applied to the Scouts. Her temperament skewed toward the quiet and contemplative, a healthy dose of the philosopher in that one, but she could just as well be full of energy and vitality when an idea was rising in her mind. Sophia always had a keen eye for knowing the hearts and motives in others, and learned to trust her instincts. But at first, she misjudged Liam, taking him first to be shallow and frivolous. She soon discovered much more. Embarrassed by her mistake, she took it upon herself to make it up to him.
I don't think we need to ask what a philosopher is.
I must say, this night reminds me of the time we convinced your sister that Snipe was stealing all the rye. Do you remember how frightened she was? And the shriek she made for that innocent cricket?
Oh, Liam, that's awful. Great fun, but awful. And what's a snipe anyway? You never said.
Liam was born to a struggling family of 9 brothers and sisters, with Liam being the second youngest and the 7th son. His parents had fled a famine near Castle Fleuret before he was even born, but he still grew up feeling like an outsider. As it was, Liam became the pride of the entire family as he worked hard to be the first professional in the clan. Indeed, his promotion made his mother weep for joy and his father beam with pride. Liam was, perhaps, a wee bit portly, and this trait is what taught him to be quick with a smile and ready with a joke. All of Lilygrove thought him to be congenial and kind, but underneath the mirth, Liam felt enormous pressure to achieve something great for his family, which could make him anxious. Surely his kindness disguised a mouse who was driven and strong-willed. I suspect he had strong warden tendencies, and a bit of the jester. His eye for Sophia opened just as they both applied to the Scout Corps, and when he saw her in a name-day dance, her twirling her skirts and easy smile captured his heart, and he never looked elsewhere the rest of his days.
I don't feel really need to go through that. That seems pretty self-explanatory. So, I feel like some of the backstories aren't quite Redwall. There's a lot more built up, sort of stronger fantasy elements. But we'll see how it goes.
Alas, I am late. I hope you'll pardon the wait. The fiery ring of devastation needed to be refueled. I trust neither of you caught a shiver. I was sick with the retch for my initiation. Didn't make a bit of difference, though. A scout needs to be ready, no matter the situation. So, which one of you is in the dock this fine winter evening?
Ooh, so we get to choose who we're going to play. Her character's quite interesting, but I feel like I prefer his voice actor and probably prefer listening to him throughout the game. And I kind of like his little design with the whole patch over his eye and his little hair. So I think we'll go William.
That would be me, and I'm not about to retch. What do we do now?
Quite sure, are you? Sophia, I trust you didn't tell our initiate about the adder's eggs.
Not a peep, sir. The secret is safe with me.
Very good. Initiate, head on up to camp and check in with Rootsworth. He'll be dithering with the victuals, no doubt. And don't lollygag. There's a lot to do tonight.
Oh, before you go, take this. The sisters at the Abbey made it special for this occasion. I'm very proud of you. I hope you know that.
To the finest, boldest, bravest, most wonderful scout the Lilligrove Corps has ever had or ever will. May this journal be your constant witness and unfailing ear. May it guide you always true and ever home. And know that I am with you always, even to the end of our days.
I'll be seeing you next when you're a scout.
Oh, it cut off a bit of that. That was quite cute. I feel like there's quite a cute little bond going between these guys.
Just where do you think you're off to, Initiate? As its name suggests, Hilltop Camp is at the hill's top.
I quite like his voice actor. Alright, what's up with these squiggly lines? What's this about? I don't know what the colour lines are. It looks really pretty. I like the sky. I like how it's painted. I'm definitely getting a ooh. Okay. And I'm really liking the whole storytelling vibe, because if you've not read the Redwall books, each one's basically someone telling a story. That's pretty. That's very pretty. So every prologue was always someone telling the story that was going to be the story of the book. Oh, the jumping looks a bit weird. Oh. So I quite like the fact that they've sort of gone with that vibe. Suits
Despite being built generations ago and being a well-loved home away from home, the ascent to Hilltop Camp was treacherous and by design. The scouts trained to be especially nimble and spry, and training meant learning certain skills that were beyond most woodlanders.
It's quite pretty. Might not be the most graphically advanced game, but it's definitely got a nice little aesthetic to it. Very unique.
Oh, so much hangs on the events of this night.
Oh,
It's
first fail.
exhilarating, terrifying, and sobering all at the same time. First the scouts, then the wedding, then the unknown future. I must confess, I feel double-minded. Not for anything amiss in my precious Sophia, but in the timing. We both have worked so hard to make a way for our lives. I fear we've missed the moment to live them. I want to tell her how I long to smell the sea and feel the hot desert sand between my toes before we sort out the linens and start naming our dibbins. But how can I ask without risking her pain? Yet, what if I say nothing? She, in fact, feels the same.
So we're looking for adventure. Well, I find the footprints a bit funny. Bit odd looking. It's like glow again. It's just these coloured lines everywhere. I wonder.
Hello. Are you Rootsworth?
Huh?
Really now? Does he look like the type to spend his days elbow deep in buttercream, rolling out scones and taking a wee taste of every peppered pie from here to Salamandestron?
I do quite like butter.
That's not what I meant at all. I'm trying to point out that you don't look at all like Rootsworth. Well, yes you do, but you see, he's big.
Huh?
Oh, but not like that. Not like you. You're tall and big. Look here, Initiate. This is Laban, not Rootsworth. I'm sure I mentioned him when we were training to pick out scents in the wild, because Laban here has a nose as good as any mole's.
Good evening, Liam. Oh, I meant to say initiate. You know, I'm not supposed to use your proper name just now until you get promoted. Ceremony, I suppose, but you won't tell, will you? This is the scenting course. I'll unlock it for you.
Oh, looks like we're going to have a tutorial. I like the way it's designed to be like a little initiation ceremony, so it fits into the story. A lot of games don't do that.
Here we go. Time to put that sniffer of yours to the test. Seeing as I've got the more sensitive nose in Lilygrove, Captain Robin asked me to devise this aromatic demonstration. Scent is a vital part of your scout training, and a big part of how all creatures, woodlanders and vermin, experience mossflower wood and beyond. We'll start with something simple. In the first room, you'll see 3 tables, each with a candle that smells of something you're well familiar with. Extinguish the candle that matches the door, and you'll move on.
Alright. So, got a green one. Got a purple one. And we've got a greeny and purple one.
That's right. Well done. Not so hard, is it? Remember that we taught you to keep a log of known scents in your journal as well, just in case it gets a bit confusing. Take a peek if you like. We'll go over wind next.
I like the scent mechanic. I guess that answered the question of the glowing colours as well. But sort of it's utilising the idea of like mice and squirrels and whatnot. Like smelling their way through the world.
Smells travel on the wind, and wind is almost everywhere, even in these caves. Pay attention and you can sense the wind's motion all around you. It's almost as if you can see it. Watch the wind and you'll never be scented by your enemies. Ignore it and anybody might come tracking you. Up ahead there's an onion, and you ought to be catching a whiff of it all the way down here. Am I right? That's because you're downwind, and onions have a strong, long-lasting scent. There's also an unknown scent up ahead, something new for you. Every scent is made up of 3 parts. A base note, which will always tell you if something is animal, vegetable or mineral, plus mid and high notes. Base notes travel the farthest, but it's the high notes that are strongest close up. To learn a new scent, get up close and take a big, deep whiff.
Alright. It's gonna be smelling our way through the game. Oh, camera can be a bit awkward in this. Let's just see. Okay. Little question marks. Onions?
Sauerkraut. That's a snoutful of hardship, eh? You ain't to be blamed if you hate the stuff. I know I do. Come on in a bit farther and we'll put these together.
I really like Laban's voice actor. It gives him like a proper little personality. Feeling it. Oh, hang on. Is that sneaking? Oh no, don't tell me this is a stealth game. Oh, I'm not good at stealth.
There you are. So far so good it seems. Lots to show you right here. So track close now, mate. Let's start with active sensing. If you really concentrate all of your senses, there's a lot you can learn. You can sense much more, sense farther, and with more clarity. It's almost as if you can see right through the walls. If you find yourself in a tight spot, always use your nose, and who knows what you'll learn. Can you tell, just for instance, that this room have a crosswind in it, and it's blowing my own scent off to your right? If I was a vermin, I'd have cuffed your chin by now, so learn to mind your scent and the wind at all times. Move me so that the wind wafts my own scent over to you. Give it a try.
Oh no. All this scent stuff, I've got a feeling I'm going to have to like proper watch what I'm doing. I'd be a true cockatoo, I never do that. We just run in head first and see what happens. Well, that wind, that scent's blowing like that way. Which makes me think that it's going to be the green flag?
Just right, that was. Well done, Initiate. Almost done, and soon enough we can all get back to that simmering soup pot. Notice how scent moves with the wind over and around obstacles like stones and walls. Scent is never a straight line to its source. Wind and the world change its path. Things like flags and smoke are dead giveaways that the wind is active. I'll go ahead, and I want you to follow me by the footprints I leave behind. You may need to use active sense if the trail gets too cold. But you also need to bring me my satchel. My satchel, the only one that smells like me. Ready? I'll be waiting up ahead.
Some random trivia for you. The reason why it keeps mentioning things like food a lot in this is because obviously in the Redwall books food is really important. But the reason for that is because Brian Jakes, I don't remember how to pronounce it, who wrote the books, originally wrote them as like little stories for blind kids when he was delivering milk. I'm gonna sniff that now. Can't sniff the mushrooms. So that's why they were like really descriptive books, and he relied on food because obviously food and taste is like a universal sense that the blind kids could would resonate with the blind kids. So interesting trivia for that. It's actually his old English teacher who read the short story. I believe it was his English teacher, and decided to tell him to get it published. Like, no, you should publish this. And that's how we got the Redwall series. My whole childhood. Sniffy, sniffy, sniff. Gotta feel this game's gonna make me really hungry. Doesn't take a lot to make me hungry. Ooh. Corn. Cockatoos like corn. So do budgies. I don't think that's giving off the right vibes.
No, that's not Laban at all. Tussos, perhaps.
Any other smells in the area? Food. I want food. Give this mouse the food. He's a bit. He's got a little chubby tummy. It's so cute. They look like his footsteps, but I kind of want to have a look around. I feel like it's going to be really important to get all the smells in this game to be able to fully understand what you're doing. Well, I think this is the way that he walked, and I don't... I know, it's okay. It's not going to lead right up to him.
Oh, I should have known. It smells of rosemary. Certainly it's Laban's.
Ooh, rosemary. I go a bit overboard on rosemary. Casually poisoning myself. I like how like little pictures come up to... Oh. Hang on. Was the mystery smell here? Oh. I don't want to get all the smells. Oh no. The completionist is coming out. Pepper. Can't remember peppers being in Redwall. What's that smell? It's like got a... That. You get it here? What is it? Like question marks. Is that not the peppers? And peppers are green. Oh, I'm not missing the smell, am I? We've got carrots. We got the smell over here, didn't we? What was that? I've just noticed the pants as well. Imagine putting these pants on and getting your tail through that. How long would that take in the mornings? Oh, clip through the wall. That would be so awkward. I think we've got all the smells around here.
There it is. I've been looking for that thing since Wednesday. I hope you notice that while strong scents move along the wind, weaker scents like footprints and scent marks stand fast and can only be found using active scents, but those are also the most likely to give you meaningful information. Right, the last demonstration is up ahead. Use your wits and what you've learnt to get past Freby's clockwork rat. To give you a hint, wind currents can occasionally be shifted. Best of luck. On with you now.
So wind currents can be shifted. I know. We've already checked here. Oh yeah, that's now gone. The mystery smell. So we definitely got all the smells in this area. It's mystery smell. Yeah. Okay, so red with skull and crossbones, obviously dangerous. Okay. There must be another smell somewhere. Oh, there's one. Beetroot. Mysterious riddle. Imagine that'd be it, yes. Ah! I was expecting, like, the riddle to be... Because Redwall does a lot of wordy riddles. I was expecting that. But a picture, it's like a little treasure map thing. Interesting. Ooh, a chest. Ragged scarf. Red bear boots. Can I put them on? Can you put them on? Oh, we've got bonus scent. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was bonus scent 1? But we have missed the smell. Got bonus scent honey. That's number 7. Where's number 1? Oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to run back. Tell you what, guys. I'll pause it. And I'll go running and I'll see if I can find it. And I'll come back. Alright, so I just unpaused it to show you guys that it was in the first room, and it was this pot of berries over here, and I totally missed it because I'm blind, clearly. I'm such a failure at life. I'm sure if you watch any of my MOBA videos and see the amount of times I lose, you'd understand where that's coming from. Oh! But you've got to get these things perfect. If this gets too collector funny, I've gone the wrong way. See, I can't navigate either. Just can't navigate. If this gets too collector funny, I will try to stop my instincts from trying to collect everything. Unless you guys are okay seeing that. Because you might find it helpful, but it also might be a bit dull to watch. Pull this lever.
Congratulations, Initiate. Your path.
Oh, we're still missing a scent. Oh, gonna have a look at this. Is it gonna make me start from the very beginning again?
Here we go. Time to put that sniffer of yours to the test.
Alright guys, I'll
Seeing
pause
as
it
I've got the
and we'll
most
come back.
sensitive northern lily